One of the most common questions that I get asked by guys who are interested in jumping on my program and working with me as their coach is around meal plans. And this came up with a gent I was talking to a couple of weeks ago. He asked me whether the meal plan that I'd be giving him would be really boring and plain. And the tone of his voice told me a lot. It told me that he thought he already knew my answer. He seemed resigned to weeks, if not months, of pain and boredom. And so I just told him straight, I will never give you a meal plan. And it's the same for you listening. And you should have seen his eyes light up. Because the truth is, guys, he doesn't need a meal plan and neither do you. Nobody does. You don't need me or anybody else to tell you what to eat. You might think it makes sense logically to have something meticulously planned out for you. Monday morning, eat oats. Monday lunchtime, eat a banana. Monday nighttime, eat chicken. But it doesn't. Trust me. Because what's the first thought you're going to have if I told you exactly what to eat, meal by meal, day by day? Well, I don't want that. I want something naughty, something cheeky, something over there, something that's not here. I want something over there. Meal plans don't work, guys. And there's a lot of science and psychology behind this. And that's why I never have, and I never will give any of my clients or you a meal plan. What do I do instead then? I get to know you. I get to know what drives you, what motivates you, what you're actually trying to achieve, what your goals are. Because a lot of people, believe it or not, they come to me and they haven't really thought through what they want. I actually had this conversation with a friend of mine last night. And I said to her, she said, I'm considering leaving London. I feel like I'm not happy here. And I said, well, what's stopping you? And she said, I don't want to feel like I've failed. Fair. Well, what would success look like? And she didn't have an answer. So I actually set her some homework. I said, today, your task is to write down what success would actually look like. Because getting out of your head and getting it onto paper is going to help you to figure out whether it's even important to you or not. Whether you've actually got it defined right in your head. And it's the same with your diet. It's the same with your nutrition. It's the same with your exercise. It's the same with your mental health, your physical health. It doesn't really matter. It's the same with everything. You need to be super clear on your goal. And that's the first thing I do with my clients, just make sure that they and then we're both super clear and crystallized on what the goal that we're actually working together towards is. Once we've got that sorted, then we can figure out the plan of how we get there. But the way I work with my clients, like I say, is not around prescriptive meal plans. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give you a set of pills and say, take these 3 times a day with your meals, right? That's what doctors do. That's fine. This isn't medicine. Food isn't medicine. Food is function. Food is fuel. Food is enjoyment. I want to improve your relationship with food, not make it worse. If I was to restrict you and say you can only have these things and you can only have them at certain times of day, you're actually going to develop a worse relationship with food. You're never going to understand why you're doing what you're doing. So my approach, and any other good nutritionist's approach, is going to be to educate you. It's going to be able to inform you. Because when I sit down and have conversations with potential clients, even friends and family, and I just say, like, do you understand why you're feeling like you feel? Do you understand why you're being asked to do what you do? And they sort of shake their head a little bit tentatively. They're a bit embarrassed because they don't want to admit that, they don't have the knowledge. And there's no shame in that though. So that's what I do. I transfer that knowledge from my head to theirs. And as soon as something makes sense to you, you're far more likely to value it and to do it. Water is a great example of this. We've all been told, drink 2 liters of water a day. But very few people actually do. Why is that? Well, not because it's not freely available. We're very lucky in the fortunate position that we're in 2024 that for the vast majority of us, clean drinking water is available from the tap over there. So what's stopping us? It's not time, is it? It doesn't take any time. It's not money. So what is it? It's value. It's a lack of understanding. People don't understand the actual benefit of drinking water. Now, I'm not going to go into the specifics of it now because that's just an example, but if I was to sit here and educate you on why there's benefit to drinking 2 to 3 liters of water a day and how you're going to feel if you do it and the benefit that you're going to get from it, you're going to be like, oh, Well, that makes sense. Now I want to do it. If I give you a meal plan, it's going to feel like you need to do something. And you know what it's like? Whenever you feel like you need to do something, whenever it feels like work, you naturally just go like, I'll just do it later. It's not appealing. It's not sexy. It's not attractive. Think about it this way. You never need to be motivated to watch your favorite Netflix show because it's not work. You don't need to watch it. You want to watch it. So my job is to give you a plan, targets to hit that you want to hit. And how do we do that? We get you crystal clear on what you want to achieve. And then I educate you on the process and help you realize that, hey, listen, if you want to achieve these things, if you do these things, if you do these inputs, you're going to get this output. And then you're like, okay, well, that's what I want. And what he's just said makes sense. So I'm going to go and do the thing. And then slowly but surely, you trust the process more and more, step by step. You start to feel and see tangible changes. You start to feel better. You start to sleep better. You start to look different. You start to get more confidence. You have more energy. You have more drive. Most importantly, you have more peace of mind and you have more freedom around your food because you realize that you don't need a meal plan. And you just keep moving forward. You keep building on that momentum. So I teach you why I give you these targets. What I also do with all my clients is help them to figure out their maintenance calories and then dependent on their goal, what deficit or surplus they should be in. And again, we work around absolutes, we work around numbers and targets and tangible data. And this helps it become real for them. It helps them to rationalize it, to control it. It reduces the emotion that you attach to your food and it increases the logic. You have to remember that food is one of the few relationships that we have that is lifelong. You know, lifelong relationships, what is it? We breathe oxygen, we need to drink water, we have to sleep, and we need to eat. And we need, human connection, but that is interchangeable between person to person. Everything else comes and goes. Food you eat from the day you're born to the day you die. It's a lifelong relationship that, for the most part, for the vast majority of people, is a very emotional relationship. Now, I don't want to completely remove the emotion from it because I want you to enjoy your food and I want you to feel pleasure from certain bits of food at certain times. But I want to make it 80 to 90% logical and rational so that you are fueling yourself with food, not feeling guilt and shame or feeling like you have to be on some kind of weird diet plan that ultimately is just not going to work. Because, put it another way, let's say I was to give you a diet plan. Let's say you were to jump on my 12-week program and I was to write it all down and be like, right, okay, Monday, week 1, right, okay, chicken, rice, broccoli. What's that old YouTube video? Rice and a fish cake or whatever it was. And I was to sit there and write it all out. By day 3, you have gone off. So I've wasted my time and you've wasted your time and you're going to feel more guilty and you're not actually going to get the result you want. But above all of that, guys, after the 12 weeks, when we've stopped working together and you now resent me a little bit because I've given you a diet plan that didn't work and you're like, oh, that guy's a dick. What are you going to do? You're not going to be any smarter. You're not going to be any wiser. You're not going to know what to do. You're not going to have any peace of mind. You're not going to have any control. And you're going to be you're going to spend money. You're going to burn money. You're going to have an even worse relationship with food, aren't you? So for me, it's never about restricting someone. It's never about taking away even more control or giving them even more emotional attachment to their food or restricting them in any way. It's about giving them freedom, about peace of mind, about education. So that after 12 weeks, you can go, cool, I get it. Thanks, Doug, you're a legend. Now I can do what I want for the rest of my life, and I know it's all about moderation and balance and omnivorous and all this sort of stuff. Knowledge is power, guys. Diet plans do not work. I hope you enjoyed this video.